Alright, let's get started. Alright, so first things first, you always want to have Esprit going at all times. It's especially doubly important now for, it's doubly important now for Dancer to have that. Words are hard. It's doubly important for Dancer to have that now, because previously in Shadowbringers, when Dancer was added, right, yeah. Previously in Shadowbringers, when Dancer was added, your Esprit game was random, but you now actually gain a guaranteed amount of Esprit every single time that you cast one of your basic GCD abilities. You get 5 for Fountain and Cascade, and for Flourishing... For Fountain Fall and Reverse Cascade, you get 10. Right, perfect. Killed that guy in one hit. That potency buff definitely coming into play. I come over here to these guys. Use that on them. Now we pop Sprint. It's kind of a little bit of a waste to sprint here, but I sprinted a bit late earlier, so that'll definitely eat into my time a little bit. I've also really got to be, like, remembering the lines that I want to be taking here. Taking good lines is doubly important now. Like, way more important than it's ever been for this category. Like, before I could, like, get better gear or, you know, just, you know, get luckier on the, get better gear, get luckier on certain fights, which would give me an advantage in certain areas. But I can't really be relying on that anymore because, like, I'm just dealing so much damage anyway, that in the majority of situations now, especially in the earlier dungeons, where I'll be one-shotting most bosses in, like, one hit, you know, the ability to take good lines at that point is way more paramount, basically. You don't typically want to be doing that. Yeah, right. You gotta remember activating Flourish is important. The fact that you can't use Flourish outside of combat now is, like, really frustrating. Because being able to activate that at any time before was, like, a huge boon for certain... It was, like, a huge boon for managing your abilities. Or not managing your abilities. It was huge because not having to use... I can't think of the words here. Being able to use Flourish outside of combat meant that if things went wrong with your management, you had Flourish as a backup to be able to get, like, more burst that you can't do anymore for free. Holy shit. I cannot press buttons right now. It's, like, crazy. The button presses there were, like, completely off. Could not click... could not click the correct thing at all there. So for this section at the start of this dungeon, you want to kill all of the Drake Spurs, and you want to kill all the blooming orchids. You can kill all of those, the barriers will disappear, and then you can move on to the boss with no worry. Hopefully the boss just dies here. Okay, didn't want to have to activate, didn't want to have to activate the thing for that, but it's okay that I didn't. Those guys will de-aggro now, so it's not a big deal. If I can save Tilana for these guys up here, which is going to be great. Oh, he didn't die. Guess that makes sense. It's not a fully stacked up. Not a fully stacked up one. So this is an auto-scroller section, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do to speed this up, and frankly, there's no threat to me, so I can just go AFK. But basically, I'm just waiting for this dragon up here to fire a certain amount of fireballs, and then he'll land, and he will... once he lands, he will be vulnerable to damage. I just need to hit him once, and then I'll be good with it. So once he dies, we just hit sprint, and we start running. We can technically hit sprint beforehand. It's better to hit sprint beforehand. But the reason why we hit sprint there is basically because the distance between here and the next auto-scroller section is not very far. So hitting sprint lets us get there faster, and even though we get the half-duration sprint, it doesn't actually affect us that much. So I created a character in Sophia. The lag is horrible. People constantly teleport around. There's random freezes, and also I get hit by AoEs half a second later after moving out. Yep. That sounds like my initial experience playing this game. Back when the servers... I believe the servers used to be in, like, Toronto or something for North America. But the servers were not amazing when I started this game. They really weren't. Yeah, the servers were awful in A Realm Reborn. They definitely got better over time, that's for sure. But I very distinctly remember having that same experience you were in some cases, where, like, I'd be out of something for, like, a full second and a half, and I would just get nothing. That was the worst. And I played it, like, late A Realm Reborn, so this was, like, after some rounds of improvements to the servers. Yeah, it really sucks that Samal is such a heavy auto-scroller. It really does. So we want to repop Devilment. Beauty. I was a bit late on the split there, but it was still a gold regardless. Good start in getting a gold there. Dusk Vigil is going to be interesting, because I'm pretty sure the way the scaling works for Dusk Vigil, I might never match the gold that I had in, I might legitimately never match the gold that I had in Shadowbringers for that. Not until, like, I get way better gear and weapons. No, I'm not gonna be able to keep Fan Dance 4. Yeah, I'll just use it on this guy. Really didn't kill him. That's unfortunate, having to deal with reduced damage on AoEs like that. That's fine. So I'm going to try something different here. I'm not going to use Sprint in this section, but rather use it in the next section. I want to see if there's a substantial time increase to that, because I don't feel like there is. The reason why I was using Sprint before here, like right here basically, is where I would use Sprint before. The reason why I'm not doing that anymore, why I'm trying something different this time, is very simply, I feel like it matters more in the later section than right here, because there's this little break where you have to wait for this guy to come down anyway, and this wastes a little bit of your sprint. But like once he's dead, and like the game registers that he's dead, you can get the full duration sprint here. And take it basically right into the boss, with only like a little bit of downtime, not having Peloton up that you can just supplement with that. But the reason I didn't have Sprint before, I didn't want to use Sprint before, is up here. There's this whole thing where I have to wait, and using Sprint after this boss is bad because I lose duration, basically. I didn't get the kill. Yeah, I have to wait for this to come down regardless, so like I lose sprint duration. So I feel like waiting for like right here is like the better thing to do potentially. If I take this line correctly, this thing should be down, yeah. Down by the time I would want to do it again. Alright, I forgot about... I don't get it here. I have both standard and tech step. So the thing I want to avoid here is Nidhogg's ad phase. If I get Nidhogg's ad phase, that's a 3-minute time loss, and it's basically an instant reset. So I'm going to start off by doing standard step. And then I'm going to do tech step to burst him past the threshold for that. So I don't get the ad phase, and boom, moving on. Alright, that's an 8-second gold. So... it very well could be that that sprint was the reason. It could just be the DPS buffs. Even still, not going to worry about it too hard. Alright, so this is an interesting dungeon because you actually sprint right out of the gate here because of how quick these enemies aggro to you. There's very few dungeons where you sprint right out of the gate, but that is one of them. There's also the fact that you typically will not have Peloton for this entire section, so it's actually better flat out to have 3 on Avance for this. So this one right here, we're not going to tech step right out of the gate. We're actually going to wait. Hit him once. And then use tech step here, which will kill all the ads and then also get him down to 0.1%. No matter what, even if we time it like as perfectly as we possibly can, it's not unfortunately possible to prevent him from casting Holiest of Holies there. So he will get stuck in that animation. We will have to wait for him to leave. We We also have to wait, like, an extra little bit of time, because even though he's disappeared from the aggro list, which usually means that you're no longer considered in combat, the game still considers you in combat for an unreasonable amount of time after he's disappeared from the list. So I'm not sure why that's the case, but that's just how it is. I also want to throw out that words are hard. I also want to throw out that that was a bad sprint. That's not where I'm supposed to use sprint. I'm supposed to use sprint just before those first 2 sets of ads spawn that I was supposed to go by. Because you don't have time to get 2 sprints here regardless of when you use it. So saving it for when you can use it to run through the ads at full speed is the better time to use it. Same thing with this guy, we're gonna just hit him once. And then we're going to charge a standard step. Once again, this is another one of those cases where the first thing he does is immediately catch this, so even if we timed it perfectly, there's no way that we could, there's no way, basically, that we could get him in a situation where he would be killable instantly without getting that, that lock-in. So, more or less, we just do what we can to burst him so that once he's done the animation lock, he will be disappearing right away. We sprint there right out of the gate because there isn't the second section here isn't a good time to sprint. It's a very short time to be able to activate sprint anyway, but the distance between a wall basically from when you enter that load zone, from where you exit that load zone to here, which is basically a wall, is not a substantial distance, to put it bluntly. Just gonna wait there to hit them both with Saber Dance. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna try something pretty risky. So I'm gonna run up to this guy, I'm gonna hit him once, and I'm gonna immediately sheathe my weapon, and I'm gonna activate Technical Step. I want to try and burst him past... Nice, okay, there we go, that's very good. So what I wanted to do there is I wanted to burst him when he was at a relatively high threshold to dead. The reason for that is he has a really high threshold for his ad phase, and while his ad phase isn't a run killer in comparison to, say, Nidhogg's, for example, which is like a solid 3 minutes, his ad phase still takes a while. And Dancer can handle it by just, like, dancing, by using their dance, and hitting all the ads that you have to kill and killing them immediately. But you still want to try to avoid that, basically, so that's the whole basic gist of it. Now we've moved on to the Great Goo Ball Library. And the thing about the Great Goo Ball Library is that there isn't anything particularly unique that you need to know. Certain ads will be the difference that certain ads will be the thing that spawns or opens the gates, rather. But you used to have to care about your ad targeting to get the optimal ad kill, like here and there. You don't really need to care about that anymore for the most part, because anything that does live through one ability should die to the second, just like that. And sprint will be up for this section here. We're going to pop it early because there is a wall that I usually get stuck on for half a second, so I want to make full use of the sprint duration here. Yeah, we have to step into that room to spawn those ads or aggro those ads onto us. Which is the main reason why I like to sprint relatively early there. The sprinting through here is just not really conducive to being overly useful, since half of the walls take a little bit to disappear, and by the time you've sprinted, you're right on top of them. So we're actually going to do something interesting here. So we're going to start off by hitting him down to 68%. Now, what I'm going to want to do here is I'm actually only going to want to auto-attack him. And then I'm going to want to activate, then I'm going to want to activate Standard Step. And the reason for this is pretty simple. So I'm going to start auto-attacking him. You don't have to do that, by the way. You can't just do that. I'm going to hit him down to about 51, and I'm going to try and wait to auto-attack him. This should... Okay, I'm going to have to do it right here. Oh, no! He locked. That sucks. So it's possible to skip this second ad phase here. When he goes below 30%, he'll enter the second ad phase, basically. And it's possible to skip, but unfortunately, I didn't burst him fast enough, so he just auto-locked in at 0.1. I forgot that he also takes a dot from the orb that you hit him with. So my auto attacks would have brought him below the 30% threshold. And unfortunately, my Standard Step did not direct hit crit. So I need to remember for next time that I need to save Devilment to guarantee the direct hit crit there on Starfall Dance, because it's 600 potency, and I believe that is the same potency as a Standard Step. A 2-step Standard Step, I should say. It might be more. I need to check. In fact, I can literally just check right here. Nope, it's less than a 2-step Standard Step, but it is a guaranteed direct hit crit every time. I believe a guaranteed direct hit crit would be better for that situation. Under 20 potency is a lot, though, but relying on it to direct hit crit is not the nicest thing in the world. Yeah, I lost some time there because of that, but that's the name of the game. That's how it goes. You will lose time by not by getting that second invuln phase there. Oh man, I remember hating the ethereal chemical research facility at one point. Back in Heavensward, basically it was the fastest way for you to get Poetics, which was like the main way that you grinded out the animal weapon. The fastest way to get Poetics, no joke, was basically just farming this dungeon over and over. Because this dungeon gave you a very large amount of Poetics. So I ended up hating this dungeon by the end of Heavensward with how much I ran it.
I will crush you underfoot. Enough.
Also, apparently I fixed my FPS drops issue. Turns out it wasn't related to Windows 11, just forgot to close certain processes before raid. God. Yeah, this dungeon is like Castor Meridium, except no cutscenes, certainly longer than the average dungeon. That's the thing. When you speedran this dungeon, it wasn't actually that much longer than most other dungeons at the time, was the thing. We want to come over here. We want to kill the Bower specifically. The Bower is really annoying because it stays out of melee range and means that like all this shit is coming out here to kill you. The Bower is really annoying in the front that it will always be away from all that AoE that you're doing. But yeah, it wasn't actually that much shorter, basically. But it also gave you Minor Tombstone. I believe it also gave you Poetics. Asterisks on the Poetics part. I know it gives you Poetics now, but I don't really remember. No, wait, no, yeah, it definitely gave you Poetics. It was like 100 and fucking... How much was it? It was a lot of fucking Poetics. It was like 150 Poetics. They really wanted you to do this dungeon. To help people out. Yeah, as you can see, with like 6 minutes and 12 seconds, this is one of the longest dungeons just because of how actually long it is. When you figured out how to speedrun it, like, with 4 people, it wasn't actually that long in comparison to the other things, and the Poetics reward made it more worth it in that regard. Because, like, you spend 5 extra minutes for, like, 50 extra tomestones, right? But this dungeon, in terms of how actually, like, length long it is really fucking long. And it's kind of annoying in that regard. I also gotta remember that now that I'm at level 60, I've reached the point where, like, I shouldn't be expecting things to die in one hit from my GCDs. If they die in one hit from my GCDs, then all for the better, but I shouldn't be expecting them to do so. One of these days, I'll plan out Esprit Gain a bit better. To be able to, like, actually plan out. I'll plan out Esprit Gain way better so I can plan out actually when and where to use my, Saber Dances. There's no reason not to sprint there if I have it. I'm coming up on the boss.
Damn this frail flesh.
Ah, damn. Apparently I caused Iggy to disappear quicker a while ago, but I'm not sure what I did with that. I love interrupting dialogue like that. It's so funny to me. Whew, Jesus Christ, dude. So I've gotta time this right, basically. Nice, okay. I accidentally, oh god, no. I opened Steam overlay trying to do that. Oh god. 3-second gold, let's go. I fucking opened Steam overlay trying to do that. Oh man. Oh boy. My favorite dungeon, Neverreap. Not like I hated this dungeon since the start of time. Fuck man, I was so upset about Neverreap. The first time I ever did this dungeon, I was so upset about it. I hated it so much. Alright, I have to actually put the egg in the altar before I can continue onward. Because I have brain of an infant. I'm just gonna auto-attack you, is that okay? Thank you. My god, the fucking tornado's in the way. Yeah. I had to wait there because the tornado was like fully engulfing the way to go. So annoying when that happens, dude. Auto attack him. Thank you. Now hopefully this guy dies. I love it when that guy just dies and I don't have to do anything about it. Did I really cancel that, like, the last second? God damn it. That is annoying. Canceling that shit at the last second. I'm actually just gonna sprint here regardless. He's too far away, I can't hit him. I was really kind of hoping that I would kill him. Yeah, it's actually, like, worth it to sprint, like, flat out the moment I'm done with that boss. Now that I think about it. Oh, did it really run out, like, the moment I got there? That's unfortunate. Coolio. Wow, that was a pretty big gold on Never Reap. Did I get an ad phase on the first boss the first time, or was that just entirely from, like, going faster in certain areas? Or was it killing enemies faster? It could have been killing enemies faster. I keep forgetting, like, even though I literally am doing this because Dancer got potency buffs, it could very well just be, it could literally very well just be the potency buffs instead of, like, me doing anything super different. I really did need to use Saber Dance there, honestly. I probably could have just killed him outright with a Cascade. There was no reason to Saber Dance there. It's kind of a waste. Wait till here. I should have activated Tech Step earlier. Whatever. Sometimes I gotta remember that bigger hitboxes make things harder to, like, harder to actually hit AoEs on. Also, I really gotta save that standard step. They have, like, literally nothing for this guy if I do it then. Yeah, that goes really slow if I don't save any burst for him. Standard step is a 760 potency burst that I can pre-prep on the GCD. I really should save it for that. Man, I really like the Fractal Continuum, though. Frac Continuum, easily one of my favorite boss dungeons ever. Wow, they just got deleted. Holy shit. Wasn't expecting that, but here we are. Making things get deleted. I think I standard step these guys. Did I really not get on the platform? Holy moly. Wow, I could have sworn I walked right over that thing. Squeenix server says it's fiction that I did that, apparently. Ah, damn. I needed a proc. I needed a proc to make that one go by faster. That's unfortunate. Still a gold. I really wonder how much of this is the damage buffs and how much of this is just me doing things better. Either way, I'm not really going to complain. The damage buffs are really good. Like, I can definitely feel them now that I'm getting to, like, the later portions here. Sprinting right out of the gate is not what I do in this dungeon. I sprint early in this dungeon, but not right out of the gate. Okay, well, I didn't even hit that guy with the AoE, I guess. God, it's still funny to me that, like, a literal speedrun strat for this dungeon that became popular, like, even in Duty Finder to a little bit, and something I used all the time, is something I'm now using in an actual speedrun, like, years later. It's so funny to me. We're gonna make full advantage of En Avant. Full, complete, and utter advantage of En Avant. Oh, die. I need you to die so I can go quicker. Alright, I'm gonna do a thing here. Ah, I fucked up. No way I was gonna get it off in time. Maybe I would have gotten it off in time. I don't know. I fucked up. Thanks, school kids. Don't be dumb like me. Wow, that was bad. That was really bad. What I wanted to do there is I wanted to get it down to like 60%, and then I wanted to standard step. But for some reason, I just thought that a fucking 480 potency attack would definitely not bring it below 50%. So it would go into the avail phase. I really need to figure out like an actual strategy for avail. I'm not gonna lie. It's not that big of a deal anymore, but it is time that I am just flat out losing. That's like undeniable. I'm just flat out losing time there every time. it's time I know I can save too, because Avail is not like other ad phases that come up like literally immediately and don't give you a warning. There's an actual cast for Avail too. Yeah, that could have been way better. I know it's still golded, but that could have been way better. There isn't really like a lie there. It could have been way better. And I sprint right out of the gate here because by the time I'm done sprinting, I've reached the first point. My hotbar is unlocked for some reason. Not sure why it's unlocked. I just now noticed. It'd be really bad if Defiance was no longer on my hotbar mid-run. That's a joke. That's a joke that nobody but like a small group of people will understand. I could have just done that with an AoE. Beat that up. I don't know. I feel like half of the time when I get like halfway through this run, I just completely forget how to play the game for half a second and how to go fast. Feel like it happens every time, and I do nothing to fix it. I should be saving sprint here. I should not be using it right away. I should be saving sprint for when I get to these guys here for realsies. Because I should use it for this section, which I'm in combat the entire time. Like once I start combat here, I basically don't leave combat ever. It's like, yeah, I guess there's a brief period right here, but not much. Pull up. Why you have to sit there in an animation that doesn't matter? How dare you waste my time? Yeah, still a gold. That works. Well, we're on pretty decent pace here. I don't think a 125 is going to happen this run, but pretty decent pace. Dancer buffs, I definitely feel them. They're definitely killing things faster for the most part. But they aren't as much as I would have hoped. They would have been able to do. My hope was definitely that they, like, you know, they would be enough to, like, get a huge, massive PB in a large area. A huge, massive PB, like a 5-minute PB for world record improvement. That guy really wasn't in that. It's unfortunate. I really gotta shower like every day, man. If nothing for the sake of my hair, I gotta shower every day. I don't shower every day because I barely do anything. Right? Stinky, yeah. Showering every day is definitely just like, I feel like it's a tad overrated, especially if you don't work in a, like if you don't work in like a physically intensive job or what you do, if you don't do like physically intensive things, I feel like it's a bit overrated. If you're like working a job that makes you sweat like consistently, then you should 100% be showering every day that you're working. I don't know, man. It's like a little bit overrated if you're not doing an excessive amount of physical activity. We're really doing this whole living with 0.1% thing for no reason. Come on. Like, don't get me wrong. I 100% agree that showering every day, especially when you're physically active, is healthy and also, like, good. You should not go a long time without showering. Going a long time without showering is really dumb. Don't do that. I really didn't. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have standard step for here. Went too fast. Kill him. Yeah, I've known people who like don't shower for fucking like a week because they do absolutely nothing with their life, and I'm like, that is so bad. Like you see my hair right now? This is me after a single day. A single day of me not showering. My hair is like this. That is not okay, dude. My hair gets greasy as fuck if I don't shower. Wow, what the fuck? That was a 45-second gold on Anti-Tower. What happened? How did Anti-Tower go oh, you know what? I guess I did really fuck the Calcabrina thing because I didn't save my standard step for it. I would consider not showering every day if you live somewhere with reasonable weather, not 30 plus degrees Celsius every day, all times, every year. Yeah. See, in a situation like that, you're going to be sweating a lot, right? Like, I shower every day during the summertime, without exception. But during, like, the winter time, I usually will go, like, I don't know, 1 to 2 days. 2 days at most, but usually, like, 1 day without showering. So glad this is just a thing, that I don't have to actually give a shit about any of these ads. Did I miss my technical step? Did I actually miss my tech step? I think I missed my tech step. I 100% missed my tech step. There's no way my tech step did less than 10% of this guy. I 100% missed my tech step, dude. Oh, pain. Pain, Pecco. Hated when using the DF. Dude, you didn't do this dungeon when it was an expert roulette. It was fucking misery. That shit was fucking misery when this was like, that shit was straight fucking misery when it was an expert roulette. Having people not fucking deal with that. Might get the ad phase here. I don't really have a whole lot of burst to go with this. Yeah, I probably will. Ancient Libera is the ad phase, yeah. That's a rip. Is it not? It's Ancient Holy, right. It's Ancient Holy that's the ad phase. This 0.1% thing, dude. Come on. That's like 3 times now I've had something that isn't supposed to live with 0.1% live with 0.1%. Why is it like this? Why is it just like this, dude? Just wish my region had weathers. Love to see snow someday. If you can move to Canada, I'd recommend it, for sure. I love me some Canada. Hella bias, obviously, but I love me some Canada. Wow, okay, that Saber Dance just fucking deleted it. Speaking of being deleted, holy moly. Goddamn, okay, yeah. I don't think there's a universe where I skip all the dive bombs on Hraesvelgr, but maybe there's a universe one day where I do skip all the dive bombs on Hraesvelgr. Like, now that I have a guaranteed crit direct hit on Starfall Dance, like, it shouldn't be too hard to... It shouldn't be too hard with that to only get one dive bomb because I've got access to more burst, basically. But I don't know, it's a bit different. Hate when they live with like 1 HP. It's my least favorite thing in the world. Even though I'd love to see winter and snow, I heard it gets under negative 30 Celsius in some parts of Canada. Yeah, negative 30 is definitely pretty lethal, but for the most part, places like that, it's like literally illegal to not have heating in housing. Not have heaters in your houses, and like, you can typically get away with weather like that by bundling up a whole bunch. Not like 40 degrees Celsius, where you just fucking die because there's only so many clothes you can take off before it turns into a crime. Oh man, the one failing of human society is being naked in public is fucking illegal. Truly. Holy shit, I didn't get a single dive bomb. Holy shit. Oh, holy shit. It happened. I didn't get a single dive bomb. Pog! Oh, I did not think you could burst them like that, but here we go, I guess. Yeah, that's huge. Not getting a single bot dive bomb there is actually fucking huge. That wasn't even related to the it was somewhat related. Tech Step did get buffed. I can't say it wasn't related, because Tech Step did get buffed. You know, I'm just going to use Devilment and Standard Step here. These guys really don't die from a 600 potency direct hit crit. How much less is it? 75%. Okay, never mind. I thought it was just 50% less for Starfall, but 75% less is fucking... That's a lot. That's literally, like, at 600 potency... Yeah, that's less than 200 potency that's direct hit critting, which is not actually a whole lot. Hate this boss. It's just an auto-scroller. Literally doesn't matter how fast I take this out, it's just an auto-scroller. Quite literally. Also, it's another one of those cases where I have to wait so long to be considered out of content, or out of combat, for seemingly no reason. Ah, was really hoping that would just kill it outright. Ah, I'm just gonna get it killed. 1%, dude. I just wanted it dead, but apparently 1%. Fucking hell, dude. Fucking hell. This is another one of those cases, though, where, like, I'm kind of just stuck here. He doesn't die until he goes to Mistspirit, unfortunately, so it doesn't matter how fast I kill him here. But getting him to, like, 0.1 means I just kind of, like, stand here, wait for him to become targetable, and do an attack untargeted. Kill him, move on with my life. Things are definitely going faster, for sure. The potency buffs on normal attacks are definitely helping, but like standard step having even more potency that has the potential to direct hit crit is, I think, really one of the things that's pushing it over for these bosses, for sure. Oh, I didn't even get a Peloton. Imagine killing things in such a way that you can actually get a Peloton. That's crazy. Wow, man, yeah, those potency buffs, they really help. Oh, I guess this guy will just die. Holy shit, I forgot the scaling in this dungeon for some reason is just fucked. Like, things that don't do that much damage in other dungeons just fucking destroy these guys. Wait, no, my Starfall Dance. Okay, thank God that thing has 1,000,000 range. Thank God Starfall Dance has 1,000,000 range, actually. Now that I see that, 25 Yalms, fucking hell. That's 1,000,000. Actual million, by the way. I was about to say, did I really cancel that early? It looked like I canceled that early. I could actually believe that I canceled it early, honestly, but that's okay. I will say this, though. It is very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting when I really start thinking about the lines that I'm taking. Because I'm already having to, like, think about a lot with, like, cooldown management and everything. But, like, actually, like right here, I'm gonna think about, like, the line that I'm taking. And I'm gonna try and, like, keep as close to this wall as possible while not, like, clipping it. Like, a little line like that is actually going to matter at some point. Now, it's not even, like, a joke. Okay, I guess it would have been better, the technical step there, but I don't know if the tech step would have been up here. If I did tech step there. I just didn't want a tech step. Which might have been what caused me to be so slow there. But it might legitimately just be better not to tech step her. It might legitimately be better to not tech step. The first boss then, since I was going through that fast enough to not even need for tech step to not be up for the second boss. I technically should have standard step that. The reason I should have standard stepped it is pretty simple. Just so that, like, my Esper gain is actually there. But I wanted to save it for this. But I don't think that Esper gain is going to matter for the most part. Okay, well. I guess I just wasn't in range? Interesting. Wow, what? What the fuck is that time save, dude? There's literally no way that all of this is just potencies, right? Holy moly. Alright, this isn't Gooball normal where I sprint out of the gate. This is Gooball hard, where I actually want to wait until here to do that. Whoopsies. I made a mistake. The boy and the dragon gay, yeah. When I read that at first, I had to disassociate the fact that what I know the word gay to mean now versus what it used to mean. That is the fourth time of something has lived with 0.1%. I literally said these potency buffs should help with things living with like 1 to 2%. And wouldn't you know it, they're living with fucking 0.1%. Yeah, exactly. Ye Olde English, the word gay, basically used to mean, like, happy. Like, someone was happy if they were gay. And that got changed, basically, to be... Well, not changed, but over time it came to be more known as, like, the short word for homosexuality. Dude, my eye is fucked right now. My left eye is fucked. Something is, like, caught in it. Oh, no. It was The Simpsons that taught you what gay used to mean. See, I knew it because I have a great aunt whose name is gay. And like when she was alive, it wasn't, when she was named that, it still wasn't common to refer to homosexual people as gay, right? So... Aw, man, this guy was the worst when this was on content. Because if you got hit by that guy's magic hammer, it literally, like, drained all or, like, half of your MP. Or TP, one of the two. But all I know is you got hit by it, you were just fucked, basically. That wasn't very big of a gold, but it was still a gold nonetheless. 2 more to go. Kinda miss Asmongold's 14 streams. He stopped streaming to his main channel for a couple months now. It was fun to watch. I'm pretty sure he stopped streaming to his main channel because his mother passed away. So, like, he doesn't really have the energy to, and, like, the, he doesn't really have, like, the energy or the desire to play his character. Yeah, because I know he still streams on his alt channel, right? Right. This thing that I always forget, the identification key. It's gonna cost me so much time in the future. Yeah, and I don't think that, like, he would, right? I don't think that I don't think it would be a smart move for him to do that in any capacity. But also, like, just from what I know about the situation, he considered his mother like his best friend, basically. Right? Like, his mother meant a massive amount to him, like, more than, like, the average person, in a sense, right? So, her passing away is... It's gonna be huge to somebody's, like, mental, when somebody you care about that much is going to... It like, moves on, like, passes on, right? So, like, I really don't blame him at all for that. Never really followed a big streamer. Usually I enjoy smaller streamers. I'm typically the same way. The only big streamers I watch nowadays are like GTRP streamers. That's literally about it. Everyone else I usually watch is somewhere within like the... somewhere within like the 10 to 100 range. Ugh. Yeah. Basically, the point of what I was trying to say was you're more or less just gonna have to give him time, right? Like, somebody coming to terms with something like that is not gonna be quick. It's not gonna be easy. And it is most certainly not going to be a process that you or anybody should rush for any reason. I definitely wish him all the best, and I definitely don't want him to feel like pressured in that. I feel like he absolutely should come back to streaming on his main channel, right? You know, come back when you're ready, not when people want you to. That was a bit early to sprint, actually. How'd you like this? I'm kind of sad. This dungeon goes by so fast now, you don't even get to hear him say, sloppy. Like, you have to get really bad RNG or luck to do that now. It's kind of sad. Alright, well. That's how that goes. Alright, last dungeon. Yeah, we're on pace for a 124, which is pretty much exactly what I wanted. I wanted a 125 or 124. I definitely feel like this dungeon, or this category, will go below 120 sometime soon. If not, like, this gear set, it'll probably definitely go sub 120 next gear set. And also when I actually take into account, like, you know, taking the proper lines through a dungeon to go through them as fast as possible. Y'all are really gonna live with 1 HP, huh? Need a little bit more potency, my guy. You need to die just a little bit faster, dude. Probably wasn't much of a reason to use Saber Dance there, actually. Probably could have lived without it. Just sprinted earlier. Wow, that really did not hit a lot of them. I figured that Fan Dance 4 would hit more of them. What I get for assuming, I guess. I should not have done the standard step. Don't know why I did, to be honest with you. That's pretty much just gonna make this guy go slower for seemingly no reason. Because I have no burst to work with here. Well, at least I'm getting some direct hit crits. I just didn't get lucky with procs to make that go by a bit faster. Make sure I hit everybody with this. Want to kill the Bloods of the Mountain. Laying there for half a second was probably the best bet. Rather than continuing to move. Because I would have hit the wall of not being able to spawn those enemies anyway. So... Boom. 123 even. That's real good. A 123 even. Yeah, that's real good. Alright. Nicely done.